Hello everybody, this is Drmcbrick and I am here with a different kind of video, and you know what? I'm just going to see if anyone is interested in this kind of video. I've had a few people who have said they might be interested, and so I figured I'd throw this out there, and you know what? If nothing else, at least it's one more video on the channel that when you get bored, you can watch it. But if you like the video, please hit the like. I am going to do kind of a book club video. I'm going to show you a bunch of Lego books that I find are very good resources. This is just one of them. We'll get into this in a little bit, but I just thought I would show you some of the Lego books that I use when I get ready to look up information and things like that. They're really cheap, basically, and you can find them most anywhere where books are sold. Hi there, and welcome to Drmcbrick's Book Club. Okay, well, I'm not going to get silly on you or crazy on you, but anyway, I am going to tell you about a bunch of books that I have found to be rather helpful and rather funny. And this is the first book, and this book was sent to me by a viewer of my channel named Hazel, and she is just a phenomenal human being in person, and she sent this to me and thought I would get a kick out of it because she loved my sense of humor, and we both share kind of the same sense of humor. So I'm not going to go into it completely because I don't want to give you a lot of spoilers about all these books, but I do want to show you some of the books that I like to use, but I thought I'd start off with a little bit of humor. Now, if you will notice on your screen, I'm going to pop up here in a few minutes, in a few seconds, I will pop up a list of when the books will appear in the video, so that way you can scroll through or find the timestamps for a particular book that you want to see the review on. Anyway, let's get started. So this is by Alan Lewis. Now, this is one of the few books that's not a DK book. This is actually a 2020 book, and it is by Chronicle Books. So you can find it at chroniclebooks.com, but it is absolutely hilarious, as you can tell by the cover. So I'll just take you through and just give you a little bit of kind of what the book's, and it basically just takes minifigures, and like this one, I just feel like nobody takes me seriously. Or, you're absolutely certain it was number 4? I never forget a face. I love these. I absolutely love these. So again, I'm not going to give you a bunch of spoilers. I will show you one of my favorites, though. Let's see here in this one. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, shucks. Here, nope, I can't find it. I should have marked it. Here it is. This is one of my favorites right here. When he's, chew! What the hell, dude? I just absolutely love that one, when the wolf sneezes. So anyway, so this book by Alan Lewis is just called Small Parts, The Secret Life of Minifigures. It's a cute little book. It's not very big. It's got maybe about 30, 40 pages in it, but every page is packed with that Lego humor that we love so much. Okay, what we're going to do is work our way back. We started with 2020, we're going to continue with 2020, and then we're going to work our way back to 1999. That's right, we have a book from 1999. You'll be surprised. But now, if you look at the thickness of these books, they look thick, and as a college professor, I'm like, oh, look at the size of this book, it's great. But what they do is they add an extra part onto it, if you notice, because they have to put in this collectible minifig or a brick or whatever. And so that's why they add that extra part. So the book looks a lot bigger than it is, but you can tell that it isn't. And again, this is DK. Most of the books that we're going to be showing are from DK. DK.com has some great books, particularly in the Lego series. You can look up that information. There's the ISBN down there. This retailed for $19.99, although I've seen it for $13 now. It comes with an exclusive Darth Maul figure, which is really, really cool. But the great thing about these encyclopedias is that they are literally encyclopedias of every minifig that was ever made for Star Wars. And so you can see all of the differences and all the different types. For instance, here's Obi-Wan, and you can see all the different types that he started out as and everything like that. They do a great job of providing a lot of great eye candy. They show you some of the details that comes on the particular minifigs and things like that, so that you can tell who is who. They tell you what set it came from, and that sort of thing. And so as we, flip through all of this, and again, right there's the one that's worth about $1 bajillion right now. She is extremely rare. Drmcbrick, I don't know if he's so rare, but anyway, they do a really good job. And what they do as well is they give you history about the character. So not only do you see all the different exclusives, prints and things that they show you on all the different minifigs, but you also get the information on the character and the backstory and stuff. And so they show you the various, the variations over the years and things like that. There's good old Mace Windu with his sweet purple lightsaber that I absolutely love. But we'll just start going back in here, and I mean, there's Palpatine, Chancellor Palpatine. They show you some of the sets that they come from. They actually show you the different types of faces and things, like right over here. Here is Emperor Palpatine again in another area, and they show you kind of where he comes from, and even the hologram piece that they have and stuff like that. So you get to see a lot of different characters and a lot of different minifigs and stuff. And this is a great place to go if you're looking for, one, the backstory on each of the minifigs; two, if you're looking for the sets that contain them; and three, if you're looking for all of those little tiny details that are exclusive to each one of these figs. And so again, not going to go through it all, but you get the idea. It is really a really cool set. For instance, this Grand Admiral Thrawn, he is the commander of the Phantom, and this is the set right here. You can just see all of the great information that this book has to offer. So I would encourage anyone who is really interested in minifigures to check out the various character encyclopedias by DK that they have on all of the minifigures. Let's look at another one, by the way. All right, the next book is the Visual Dictionary, the Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu Visual Dictionary, new edition. And this one is also a DK book. I will flip it over and show you the ISBN for those of you that are interested. Now, this says that it was $21.99 back in the day. This is only a 2019 book, so it's not very old at all. But I have picked up this book for $13.99 on Amazon. It was not too bad. Most of these DK books, they go down in price rather quickly, and a lot of times you can pick them up, in your local department store, or just in kind of in the bargain bins. But they are really, really cool. And so this one here is definitely a dictionary. The other one was every single minifigure for Star Wars. Now you notice how big that one was, but even with this extra compartment, because of the minifig, which is really cool because it's Teen Woo, and I love Teen Woo. But even with this, when you pick it up, there's just not that much in the Ninjago universe as there is in the Star Wars universe. So you can see it's not as big. But the thing that this book does that the other books don't do is, yes, it talks about the sets. And so not only do you get the sets for Ninjago, and it gives you the timeline of when all your Ninjago sets were put out and what was put out and when, but as you look through the book, for instance, here is Lloyd, and here is his kind of centerfold here, and you see all the different Lloyds, and you see all of his different accessories, and then you start to get into all of the sets that Lloyd was in and some of his major accessories. And they do this for all of, for instance, here is the Golden Dragon. And they do this for all of the Ninjago sets and for the Ninjago figures. So this book is really a great resource for anyone looking at both. There he is, Teen Woo. For anyone looking at Ninjago and look, Baby Woo. If you're looking for Ninjago and all the information on it, you will find this in these sets. Now, again, I wish that I had my overhead tripod, but that stupid thing is holding up my table at the moment because IKEA couldn't count. So anyway, you get the idea here. You can see all of Jay's stuff, all of the things that he has, everything like that. You know, I'll just kind of flip through. Here's the monastery, which I have that I haven't put up yet, but it has all the different features and all that kind of stuff. Has the backstories of what you know, everything is about and why it's there and all that kind of stage, all that kind of cool stuff. Even has really nice, you know, here's the tea station, here's the bonsai tree, you know, all that kind of stuff. It gives you the features of the sets. It's a really, really cool book. I won't go into it any farther because I don't want to, you know, kind of show you every single thing. But you can pick it up really at any bargain store. You can pick it up. A lot of times these books are available at school book fairs. And so if you're a kid and you're watching this, I would say go out and go to your school book fair. You can't really do it now, I guess. But when you get a chance to go to a school again, you know, your book fairs usually have a lot of these DK Star Wars books. So anyway, that is the Ninjago Dictionary from 1999. The visual dictionary. I would encourage you to go out and get it. It really is a great book and a very wonderful resource. Several years back, Lego came out with these all-inclusive books. It was actually DK Press came out with all these inclusive books. And this one is the Lego book, Everything You Wanted to Know About Lego, new edition. This one is actually the 2019 edition. And it came with the 60th anniversary brick, which you can see is out of its case now because I used it in Figsdale, and it is prominently displayed in the, well, I won't tell you where it's displayed. If you can find it, let me know here in the comments. Anyway, it retailed for $25 in the U.S. There's the ISBN number for any of you that are interested, but you can pick this up now pretty much for probably $15.99, $16.99, and things like that. It all depends on if they're having them on sale. Sometimes bargain bins have these. School fairs, again, have these books, but this book, as you can tell, the schematics of the brick. Remember, this was to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the brick. This book goes really into it because it starts, and I had these trees and these signs. I remember this. Wow. So this book starts out, of course, there's the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who runs, Jorgen, who runs the Lego group. And then this book starts out as far as kind of it gives you the little sets, remember, for the 60th anniversary. But it starts out with all of the great eye candy from how they started, where they started, what they did when they started. You go through all of the, you know, the toys, the history. There's just little pieces and parts in here that you can read. And again, sorry, I don't have the full thing so you can see everything, but I encourage you to go out and buy the book, and I promise I'm not a salesman on this book. I get no commission for selling these books. But the nice thing about this book is, even though it is a book that takes you from the beginning of Lego to 2019 when it was made, or to be honest, probably 2018 given editing times and all that kind of stuff. But this book is it takes you on a journey. And that journey interweaves the new with the old. So as you can see, you start talking about the old minifigure, right? You start talking about original minifigures, but then you start to move into new minifigures and mini dolls and all kinds of stuff. And so it just really does a great job of interweaving the new and the old. And so you can see and you can tell from where Lego came and where Lego is going. There's Scalia. Oh, and remember those red brick halls? I love those. And there's Fabuland, as a matter of fact. But anyway, they even show you ads that they had for various packages. There's Clickets. My daughter used to be into Clickets. You know, we can keep moving around, and it shows you timelines of famous sets. There's even Mr. Gold, remember? And all kinds of stuff. And then you start getting into more and more timeline about some of the most popular things that happened. Tells you about the making of bricks and how they're molded and all that sort of thing. It's just, I mean, it's fabulous. It's a fabulous view of Lego from start to finish as of 2019. And so they're coming out with another one for 2021. that is going to feature the orange spaceman as the minifig, the exclusive figure that goes into it. That's going to be really awesome. I mean, this book talks about all these different sets. I mean, there's nothing left behind, to be quite honest with you. It's not like, it's not like Bricklink where it's every single set ever, but you know what? It's pretty darn close in terms of oh my gosh, look at that. Isn't that wonderful, the Pharaoh's Quest? That is absolutely amazing. I love that. And this one right here was one that I really, really wanted to get, the elephant. But it tells you the story. It tells you the story about these sets and where they came from, and nice little anecdotes and all that kind of stuff. And so this book is really fabulous. I can't say enough about this book. But this is the newer version, and it talks about collectible minifigures and all that kind of stuff, and you see everything going on. It just continues. So I won't go into that any further, but you get the idea. It's the Lego book, new edition from 2019. Everything you wanted to know about Lego is in this book. And from 2017, here is another DK book. Absolutely everything you need to know. Stacks of Lego facts. Special value, $10, final price. This is a DK book I picked up at my daughter's elementary school fair, book fair, and you can pick these up a lot at those types of fairs. DK books are all over the place at those school fairs. Anyway, here's the ISBN for any of you that are interested, and this originally was $19.99, but you can tell that this was $10 at the fair. So now, in contrast to the other book that we had from 2019, the other book that we had, the encyclopedia, this one is very similar, but the other one where it was celebrating the 60th history of the book, the 60th history of the brick, that one was very much of a historical. It had a lot of the history. This one has a lot of history as well. It also has an exclusive minifigure. Look, wow, it's an exclusive limited edition minifigure, and he's in all red. Not sure how exclusive that is. He's just got a red shirt and red pants on. I mean, and like normal hair. Anyway, so this is absolutely everything you need to know. Everything. But it starts out, it gives you timelines of the history and all that kind of stuff of Lego and what it's about and everything like that. And just look at that weird wheel. That is wild. And of course it goes through some of the old stuff and, the old motors and things like that. But the nice thing about this is not only does it give you facts, just like the other one, right? Just like the other one. But, oh, hey, wow, look at that. How many of you have seen the orange and the red prickly bush? You don't see those very, very often anymore, do you? But, yeah, that I haven't seen that color prickly bush in a long time. So, the nice thing is that this is much more of a fact book in terms of, like here, it's the top 5 essential Lego Technic elements that you need in your collection if you're going to be building Technic. It gives you the difference between the gray pins and the black pins, right? Tells you what the difference is with those. It tells you all kinds of information like that. It starts to talk about elements of fencing. And what this one does, this is more of a category type of book. So if you look, there's the different accessories that come with minifigures. All right. It starts to tell you about different types of worlds that they have. So there's the police, there's the city. It gives you sets such as Ninjago. It gives you categories such as castles. And you can kind of see how you get, information on each one of these. But it's really good because, there's all seasons. Here's Lego sets for different seasons. There's birthday cakes, there's flags, there's Christmas sets, all kinds of stuff. Then you start showing some Lego theme parks and Miniland and some way to sculpt and things like that. And so you start to see all of this. This is one of my favorites. I got to get this one. I've been wanting this one to put in my Joker world. But anyway, here's heroes and villains and all of their accessories and stuff. Now here are all the top 10, 20 Technic builds. There's Zabadak, you're the Maersk. You are the king of Maersk, my friend. You would love that. These are all rolling stocks. My friend Greg from GJ Bricks would love these trains. He is into trains, big time. And this one, of course, this one is the famous 1991. I'm sorry, not 1991. But this one here is just a gorgeous. Here's one I have in my town. You can see the different sets. There's the Metroliner. That's the one I was thinking of from 1991. That's the one that I had. I really love that. But anyway, you can just see there's all the different planes that Lego came up with. And so this one here's the Star Wars universe. Let's start going down the Star Wars rabbit hole. There's tons of stuff there, right? Now here's the different minifigures. Oh, hey, Brickzar, you'd probably like this one, Jabo. I think I may have seen you do a video on this at some point. But anyway, so you get the idea that everything is categorized in this book, where the other one was much more of an interweaving of new and old and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, so I would encourage you to find this one, and you can find this one probably for under $10 now in a bargain bin somewhere, but it is absolutely everything you need to know about Lego and stacks of Lego facts up until 2017. Here is another Lego Ultimate. This is the Ultimate book. The Ultimate book, but if you notice right here, DK did not even try to fake it. They didn't even give you an exclusive figure. It's like, man, we're not giving you squat. This is just a book. It's got all kinds of eye candy. It's got all kinds of facts about Lego. Just deal with it. So anyway, this came out in 1999. So this was one of the first kind of all-inclusive encyclopedias. There's the ISBN number for those of you that are interested. You could probably you might have to pay something for this because this is old at the moment. But this was kind of the Lego universe as folks knew it. And back in 1999, look at this card. That is unbelievable. But the great thing that this does is this shows you, oh, and isn't that cool? There's a forward. There's a forward there. And it's the opposite orientation. Sorry. This takes you once again through the history of Lego. Again, different pictures, different styles, different facts. And that's one of the things I like about these DK books, because you get different facts and different information. There's that red hall again. And different pieces from it. And so you can see all of that in all of the stuff there. And yeah, here is what's really cool as well. They start to show you, now look at this here. They're talking about making the Technic car. All right, back in 1999, remember? Now everyone is all excited about the Bugatti, but the Technic car was actually, really built back then. This dragon, don't you love this dragon from 1993? Remember that dragon? Had it, loved it. The kids loved it, that sort of thing. There's the old not DVDs, those are CD-ROMs, baby. The Creator games, I remember those. So here's the first, in California, the first Legoland that opened in the United States. Rock Raiders, my oldest son, is into Rock Raiders and has all the Rock Raiders sets. We used to love those. It even talks about books that Lego talks about as well, and has in their plan. Look at this. Remember these. Bricks with Chips, Mindstorms, and all of the groups, all of the programming that used to be done on our very, very modern computers back in the 90s. And so this book is not only, it talks about the difference in the way they make Lego elements. I like the way they do this here, where they actually show kind of the Lego factory in Lego itself, made of Lego, and how they go through everything as they're describing the process. But this is just a fabulous look through time. And as they describe everything on the Lego floor, instead of showing you pictures of a lot of it, they actually make models of it in Lego itself. And I just find that really, really awesome. So, they'll show you the real picture here, and then they'll show you the assembly line down here and stuff like that. So, again, I apologize for not having an overhead cam to show you all of this stuff. Here's kind of the master builders and what they do. Look at this. Look at that beard. Unbelievable. And there's Spock. I love it. Fred Flintstone. And there's our famous dragon that we've seen in many Lego stores. But you can just see this goes through all different kinds of parts. And the great thing is that when you look at this book, and it's as old as it is, you will find, wow, look at that. Look at that. You will find that you reminisce about the way it used to be, whether you were a kid, whether like me, you were just a dad starting out in the world, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I would say even in here with these little builds here and stuff like that, the plan for Legoland. So this is a really cool book. And they still have these rides. They still have these at Legoland. In reading this book, one of the things I found was that Legoland really hasn't changed much. But it's still kind of a lot of the same stuff. But anyway, so this is a cool book. It's about all I'll go through with it for you there. 1999, the ultimate Lego book. And it's you can discover the entire universe, as it says, the Lego universe. So it's a cool book. Check it out. Okay, from 2013, these were books that are small, meant for children, but they were previously published in the Lego Ideas books. And if you remember some of those ideas books back then where Lego used to publish certain ideas of how to use their elements and how to use their sets and stuff. These are DK, once again, DK, and there's no ISBN on there, but you can find them probably by looking up the title. This one is Amazing Places, and it sounds like a home show on the HGTV network, but it's not. Things That Go. And so, you know, the nice thing I like about these is that they have some great ideas. So, you know, we watch YouTube nowadays, but back, you know, in the day, you know, and even folks who don't want to watch YouTube or just get bored and want to do something else. These are great little books. You can pick them up for $5, $4.99. You know, you can still pick these books up at book fairs. But you know, it gives you tips on how to make furniture. Gives you tips on you know, how to build houses and what elements to use and stuff. And even kind of add some humor with the minifigs that Lego is so well known for and stuff like that. So it gives you ideas on what to do and how to build stuff. That to me is just, you know, especially for someone who's younger, a kid or something like that. You know, it's a really good way to get some ideas and to start. Like right there's, you know, how to make a simple barn door, that sort of thing. And so I get a lot of my ideas from some of these books. Well, I guess I don't get a lot of my ideas from some of these books, but I get some ideas from these books, and there's a whole series of these. This one is Things That Go. So naturally it's cars and mechs and all kinds of stuff, right? So it gives you some ideas about how to build cars, some different elements to use, and some stuff like that. And it tells you it doesn't give you the plans, but it kind of shows you a little bit about how you can do stuff and what types of things you can use. So yeah, so I would encourage, you know, especially for your younger viewers, for my younger viewers, and for your kids, these little books by DK, pick them up. It just gives them some ideas. And again, they were basically reprints from the published Lego Ideas books that came out back in the day. The final book that I have is by Jordan Schwartz, and it is by No Starch Press. And this is not one of those DK books. This is not that they're bad. The DK, I love them. As you can see, I have tons of them. But this book is about creative ways to build amazing models, and it is a cool book. Let me flip it around, show you the ISBN number on there for you. This was $24.95 when it was purchased. This, I believe, I purchased in 1999, 1998, something like that. But it is a fascinating book. I mean, first of all, look at the model right here. Look at this truck. This is a gorgeous truck. But what this book does is it takes you through how to use Lego as an art form. And it talks about the various types of art forms in terms of using plastic as an art form, the different types of colors and shapes, setting up your work environment, the essential elements you'll need right there, 318 bars. You're going to need some hinges, finger hinges, and flexible hoses, and pneumatic tees, and just basic things to use. in building, cheese slopes, pistols to use things. Look at all this, and it has, it has some really, really cool techniques. And it looks at, it takes apart the minifigure here, shows you what it's made of, all that sort of thing. And it talks about, the various skin tones of minifigs that you can use, how to pose your minifigures, how to give them character, bring them alive, all kinds of stuff. And then, it really talks about how to do some of the mocks. And, like right here's an idea, scattering bricks around instead of just keeping them straight. So you put them in different configurations and set them in there and stuff like that, or using these studs as water. These are techniques and things that we see a lot nowadays, right? But they had to come from somewhere, and they came from the people before us, the AFOLs, the TFOLs, and the kids who came up with ideas to build stuff. But this is a really good book because it's very, very, it's not technical, but it treats Lego as an art form. And this would be a textbook that one would use in an art class that would use Lego as the medium. And so you can see all of the different things, mosaics, creating mosaics, using fabric in your builds, sculptors, just, how to sculpt, ways to make different types of walls and things like that. And it really, really is a fabulous way to learn Lego. Now, a lot of people get their ideas from these books, and there is nothing wrong with that. And I see a lot of folks doing videos on like how to build 5 or 6 different types of walls or chairs or whatever. Chances are those techniques came from these types of resources. Now, they may not have directly come from, I'm not saying somebody, directly copied these types of techniques, because in Lego, it's an inspiration type of thing, right? But these techniques have kind of been passed down through the generations, correct? And they have been passed down through kind of the generations of being building stuff and building Lego and building with Lego. And so, what one person does, another person embellishes and does a little bit better. And then the next person comes along and takes that as an inspiration to do something else. And you see, this is very text driven. And so there's tons of eye candy in this book, but it is a textbook, and it is a textbook that you would use in an art course. And so as a professor, this would be a textbook that I would use in in kind of a pop culture Lego art form to art type of class. And so, you can see all of the cool things. I just love, like how to make expressions in your sculpting. And so it just doesn't show you what to do. It just doesn't show you what it looks like. It actually talks about it and talks about why you should make things look the way they look or how to do it. I mean, look, there's Rod Serling from the Twilight Zone. He looks just like him. But how do you get him that way? Well, here we go. The author is talking about what they had to focus on, what they had to do, how they used the cheek plates, how they used the studs for the cheek plates and sculpted the nose and everything like that. So you're not only just seeing stuff like you do in the DK books. Is that Freddie Mercury? Yes, it is. You're not only seeing stuff, but you're reading about the process that the person went through to develop it. So it's very much of what we would do on YouTube nowadays, where we would get a mock builder and interview them and talk about the process that they use. Look at this ride. That is a nice looking sled. I love it. Boats, all kinds of stuff. And this has, oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. Luke Hutchinson on medieval buildings. The nice thing about this is you see Luke Hutchinson. What it does, it takes some of the best mock builders of the day. And again, this is an older book, but it takes some of the best mock builders of the day and basically talks about their techniques and talks about how they come up with their techniques and what they do and why they do it and stuff like that. So I'll tell you what, this is a book that if you get your hands on, again, if you can get your hands on it, it's by No Starch Press. I'm not sure if it's even published anymore, but you could probably get it on the secondary book market. But Lego Design, The Art of Lego Design, Creative Ways to Build Amazing Models by Jordan Schwartz, who does a great job of curating from the very best mock builders of the day back then. And it really is, you know, if you're looking for more of a intellectual deep dive into the art of design using Lego, this is the one for you. Well, I hope you enjoyed this version of what I'll call the Lego Book Club, for lack of a better term. Please hit that like button if you really liked it. Share this if you'd like. It's a different kind of video. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed to be part of the Dr. McBrick family. Don't forget, you can support me on Patreon if you'd like. I'm also available at drmcbrick.com, on Flickr, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and of course here at YouTube. And I am available on Teespring at the Dr. McBrick General Store if you want to buy some merch like this. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed the books. Take care. This is Dr. McBrick signing out.